If you've owned your home for a long time and you're thinking about selling, or if you've recently sold, there's a tax rule that you need to know about. And that rule hasn't changed in 28 years, and that's actually the problem. Back in 1997, Congress created what's known as the Section 121 exclusion. It allows a homeowner to exclude up to $250,000 of gains on the sale of their primary residence if they're a single filer, or up to $500,000 if you're a married couple filing jointly. At the time, back in 1997, these numbers were really generous. Data from 1999 showed that less than 0.5% of all taxpayers were going to be affected by this cap. There's one thing that they didn't do that they should have done all those years ago. They never indexed these amounts to keep up with inflation. And here we are, 28 years later, with the same dollar figure. $1 in 1997 is not $1 today in 2026 when we're recording this. Just using the rate of inflation, the consumer price index, the CPI, just using that from 1997 through 2025 puts the increase in inflation terms of roughly 100%. If Congress had simply kept up with the consumer price index, with the rate of inflation, the exclusion today wouldn't be $250,000 for single filers. It would be $500,000 for single filers. And for married couples filing jointly, it wouldn't be $500,000. It would be $1 million today. But instead, we're stuck with these numbers that have been in place since 1997. According to the National Association of Realtors, 34% of homeowners, that's roughly 29 million people, could already exceed that $250,000 exclusion for single filers, and 10% or 8 million homeowners have potential gains of $500,000 or more, basically blowing through the cap for married couples filing jointly. So look, this is no longer a problem for wealthy folks in fancy zip codes. This is a problem for everyone, and it seems to be getting worse every year. To be fair, some lawmakers are starting to take notice and they're trying to fix it, but nothing's been done yet. Ted Cruz introduced the Capital Gains Inflation Relief Act of 2025. This would index the cost basis of capital assets, all capital assets, to the rate of inflation. That admittedly had a hard time because we're not just talking about primary residence, we're talking about all capital assets. You should also know that Ted Cruz introduced something similar in 2018 and 2021. Now here in last year in 2025, none of these have made any kind of progress on the floor. On the House side of things, there were bipartisan lawmakers pushing a bill called the More Homes on the Market Act of 2025, kind of a goofy name, but it would double the current capital gains exclusions that were put in place in 1997 and adjust them for inflation moving forward. This is exactly what we've been talking about on this video. Also, Tim Burchett, representative from Tennessee, great account to follow on social media. He posts a video almost every single day. He's gone even further. He's proposed legislation to eliminate the capital gain on primary residence entirely. But he's also come out publicly and said he doesn't think this really has a shot of getting passed. The point is that people in Washington are starting to take notice. They're starting to realize this is a problem, just haven't fixed it. So what does this mean for me and you? If you're a homeowner here in the state of New Jersey, it's no surprise that home values in the Garden State have gone up significantly over the last 2 decades. There's a lot of homeowners who bought homes in the 90s or in the early 2000s who are sitting on some pretty serious gains, and gains that would take them past the exclusion amount, which means that they're now going to owe capital gains taxes on the sale of their primary residence. So look, we're not here to tell you what Congress will or won't do. Nobody really knows what they're going to do, if they're going to do anything. What we can tell you is that this is really becoming a planning issue. Right now, if current law stays the way it is, and it looks like it's not going to be changing. So if you're thinking about selling your primary residence, if that's part of your longer term financial plan, Or if you're helping a parent or a family member who's thinking about doing something like this, the tax picture is a little more complicated than it was even just a couple of years ago, and it deserves a conversation. If you'd like to think through how this might affect your specific situation, you need to be speaking with a financial planner. This is exactly the type of things that we work with our clients here as well.